What is up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm super excited to give you guys my review of the Union Fragment Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG in this royal colorway. This is a sneaker that's been in the rumor mill for many months now, with many mock-ups leaking on the internet which eventually proved to be false. Finally, these are set to release in February, which is next month at the time that I'm filming this. And this is a triple collaboration between Union Los Angeles, Hiroshi Fujiwara's Fragment design, and Jordan Brand. So if this style of shoe looks familiar to you, it's because we've seen Union and Jordan do this Frankenstein take on the Jordan 1 High before, with past versions like the Storm Blue and the Shadow Chicago, but this time they're set to release 3 colorways. There's a Varsity Red and Royal colorway, which is the pair that we've seen the most on sneaker blogs and Instagram. There's a white and black pair, which is rumored to be probably a bit more exclusive or regional exclusive. And then there's this one, which combines the bottom half of the Jordan 1 Royal along with the upper half of what seems to be the metallic navy. So these will be available at select Air Jordan retailers, including the Closet Inc. right here in Canada. The Closet Inc. is an independently owned and operated boutique. They're based right here in Southern Ontario in Canada, and they're my go-to shop when it comes to Jordans and Nike releases. So on their website right now, which I'll link below in the description box, they've opened up their raffle. So if you are located in Canada and you're looking to grab a pair of these for retail, then check out the Closet Inc. and enter the raffle right now. So the retail price for this shoe in Canada is 260 Canadian dollars. I believe they're around 200 or 205 USD. And the official colorway for this shoe is black, navy, royal, and sail. So the box that these come with is different than the previous boxes. This is just an all black box with Nike branding outlined in black as well. So there's really nothing too special about this release. It's just all black, as you can see. And here's a look at the size label. So taking a deep dive into the shoe itself, like I mentioned earlier, this takes the bottom half of the royal ones with what looks like the upper half of the metallic navy ones. And as we start things off with the toe box, here you'll find a thick cut of blue leather, and like any other Jordan 1, this is perforated. Surrounding the outer edge of the toe box, we have this pebbled black leather. This is a very thick cut of leather. It feels very premium to the touch, and the edges are painted in this yellowed tone. Moving downwards, along the side flaps of the shoe, we have more of that pebbled black leather. This covers the eyelets of the sneaker as well. And then stitched on top of the mid panel, we have this Nike swoosh, which is constructed out of a thick cut of blue leather. Right above this, like any other Union Jordan 1, we have this zigzag stitching. So the leather here is a tumbled white leather, and it's also painted in this yellow color on the edges. Hanging off the lateral side, we have this tag with Union LA branding. And one thing I would have liked is if they had kept this tag in that signature yellow, which would have given this upper half a little bit of that extra pop. Regardless, on the lateral side above this, we have this large Air Jordan Wings logo, and this is pressed on in this metallic or shiny blue colored finish. Surrounding the collar of the shoe, we have this shaggy, off-white colored suede. And then surrounding the bottom of the heel, we have more of that pebbled blue leather, and stamped onto the lateral heel, we have the iconic Fragment double lightning bolt logo. So in terms of laces, this pair comes with 4 different lace options. The default lace that they come with is split in 2 tones, so it mirrors the look of the shoe, where the bottom half is done in this vintage looking purplish blue tone, whereas the top half is left white. They also come with a secondary pair of laces, which is done in a mix of white and black, and then there's also an all white colored lace, along with my personal favorite, the yellow colored lace, which is kind of now synonymous with Union. I especially like the yellow laces because I think in the absence of this yellow tag, the yellow kind of unifies the upper and the bottom so that it's not overly upper half versus lower half. In my opinion, with the other laces, the upper and the bottom are just too distinct. My first thought when I saw this shoe in hand is that it's almost like they poured paint on top of a Royal 1, and there's just something about the contrast between the white upper and the black bottom that was just too strong for me. But I think with the yellow laces, it kind of mellows that out a little bit and unifies the look of the shoe more cohesively. Anyways, moving on. Underneath this, the tongue is also split, so the bottom half is covered in a black nylon. In the middle, we have this zigzag white stitching, and then the top of the tongue is done in this vintage looking off-white color. We have this Nike Air tag on the very top, and like any other Union Jordan 1, the edges of the tongue are left exposed so you can see that foam layer within. The interior of the back of the shoe, this is covered in a blue colored mesh. And then for the insoles, these come with a polyurethane lined foam insole, and we have Union and Jordan branding on the right foot, and Fragment and Jordan branding on the left. So the upper of this shoe sits atop a solid rubber cup sole, which is painted in this slightly off-white or sail color. On the lateral side of the heel, we have this text, which includes words like Chris for Chris Gibbs, founder of Union LA, Hiroshi representing Fragment, and encapsulated within this midsole we have Nike Air technology, which is not visible to the eye. Turning the shoe over to the bottom, this is your traditional Jordan 1 outsole. So this is all done in this blue colored rubber. We have a circular pivot point on the forefoot and Nike branding visible right in the center. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this shoe. And for those wondering about how these fit, to me these fit like most Jordan 1 highs, so I recommend for most people to go true to size. I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. I got these in a size 10 and they fit me very comfortably. Not too snug, not too loose. So whatever size you normally wear for Jordan 1 highs, just stick with that same size for this pair and it should fit you fine. Moving on to the comfort, so these feel like any other Jordan 1 high, so it's gonna feel pretty flat, pretty firm, pretty low to the ground, very stable. There's not too much from a softness standpoint, but for a casual use shoe, Jordan 1s are gonna be fine. So if you're expecting a very soft, plush sneaker, this is not gonna be for you. But if you're fine with those mid-80s sort of firmer shoes underfoot, then these are gonna be perfectly fine for a shoe that you're just walking around casually in. I do have to say though that the leather on this shoe, while it is pretty thick, it feels pretty soft to the touch, so there's not gonna be a significant break-in period required. Finally, in terms of the quality and craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality was really outstanding. This is perfectly in line with past Union LA Jordan releases. So we have a very thick cut of leather all across the upper. It is genuine leather and has a nice pebbled, broken in feel to it. So the material quality was really solid, and I thought the build quality was flawless as well. For my pair, the stitching was perfect. The panels were symmetrical between my left and right feet. Nothing was crooked or seemed out of place. So this really lived up to my expectations, being that this felt more premium, it felt more elevated than a normal GR Air Jordan 1. So with all of that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up, and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, I think Union and Jordan and now Fragment combined together to create an amazing Jordan 1 high. Of the three colors, I think I might lean towards the Varsity Red and Royal the best. I think that one just blends the best together, whereas this one, it's really solid, but I think I really appreciated it more once I swapped in the yellow laces. However, the black and white pair, I think I'm kind of on the fence about that. If I'm able to grab those for a reasonable price, I will, but I'm not planning on jumping through a lot of hoops just to get my hands on them. But I think all in all three pairs are very solid. Is it as good as the original two? I would say they're not, but I think there's something to be said about incorporating Fragment into this collaboration, which does make it feel a little bit more special. So is this shoe gonna break the streak of poor performing Jordan 1 highs? We'll see about that. I'd be very surprised if these didn't sell well, but I just don't expect them to fetch the same secondary market prices as the original two when they were reselling for over 1,000 Canadian dollars. So we'll see. These are gonna be dropping soon, like I mentioned, in February. So enter any raffle that you can if you want to, and best of luck for anyone trying to get your hands on a pair. Let me know what you guys think about this royal colorway of the Union Jordan Fragment Air Jordan 1. What are your overall thoughts on this colorway? How do you rank this one among the three? And will you be trying to grab these when they drop sometime in February, or are you sitting this one out? As usual, if you guys enjoy this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I'll link my social media accounts down below for you guys to check out and follow. And another huge shout out goes out to The Closet Inc. So for anyone watching from Canada, if you're remotely interested in grabbing a pair of these, I'll link their website, their socials down below, as well as the link to their raffle. So be sure to enter before it's too late. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoy this review, and I'll catch you all in my next video.